What's up, Kohala Baptist? Everyone here at the tree, and then online too. Um, just before I start sharing my testimony, I just kind of wanted to tell y'all a little about me. You already know my name's Noah Boyd, and I'm from Dallas, Texas. But I'm 18, mostly Irish with a little bit of other stuff, but mostly Irish. I'm a polyathlete, but most of my sports are surfing. I like doing that. It's probably the main sport that I do with like snowboarding and some other stuff. And I've been on the Big Island here for about 4 months now. I'm gonna leave in December, but I'm coming back in the late January to serve with YWAM for a few more years, and then we'll see where it goes from there. Um, but just to kind of start, I want to share about my family, my upbringing. Both my parents were missionaries when I was born, and then they had me and they realized that that's way too hard, and so they're gonna become youth pastors because that's a lot easier. Um, and then as I got a little older, they became the head pastors of the church, and my mom was the worship leader. And then in the fifth grade, they had a divorce, and so we ended up going to a different church, but they both went to the same church, but they're divorced. And so it was weird, but I was always at the same place. I didn't have to deal with like a bunch of different places. But slowly, as I got older, my parents moved farther apart within our city. It went from like I think a minute away, and I could ride my bike to then like 20 minutes to then an hour, and then like it's almost like 2 hours now with traffic sometimes. They're not too far apart, but they are apart. They both have been remarried, and I love my stepmom and my stepdad. They're great people. Um, but just kind of the struggle of like going through divorce, and then going up into my middle school years, I struggled with alcohol and drugs really early. And so then it just kind of took a down spiral. And I was raised in a church, so it was hard to really. I just kind of stopped doing some things, and then as I got older, I got more into sports, and so I was already being taken out of the church myself. I was taking myself out of the church because I was involved in a lot of drugs and alcohol, and then I did sports. I got really good at football and rugby, and I took myself out of the church even more. And so closer to probably my freshman or sophomore year, I got sponsored by Red Bull for surfing, and I was never at church ever. And something kind of clicked in me my junior year. I quit football. I had like 4 or 5 D1 scholarships for football, and something clicked in me, and I just quit one day. It was very, very weird. Everybody was super confused, and I was too. But I just kind of, I made a decision that I wanted to start going to church more. I saw how my life was going and how all the bad things I was doing. And I just made a decision to start going to church. I originally went because of a friend group that I had developed and also a girlfriend that I had. So I started going for her and for them. But slowly, as you hear the word of God, you hear his stories, and you read and you worship, it starts to transform from I'm going for people into I'm going for him. And that's where I really developed my relationship with the Lord. And I see it kind of like a door handle. I slowly, like junior year, I slowly started to turn it, and then I decided to come to YWAM, and I slowly started to turn it more because my time was so devoted away from church. And then when I came here, all my time was devoted to him and to my relationship. Like every single day we had worship, intercession. Every day we had lectures and teachings on his word and his love. And slowly that door handle just started to turn a little bit more and more, and it's opening that door to a relationship and to true happiness in myself. And where I see myself now, I've never been happier. The fruit that God gives me is so explosive and so just bearing such good fruit for my soul, my spirit, and my heart. I've grown so much happier. I've even in my maturity as just a kid and turning into a young man. I've matured so well, walking in the fear of the Lord and gaining that wisdom, and just gaining His knowledge and His wisdom for my own. Shoot, I'm gonna grab that. But yeah, I just where I am now, it's a total 360 from where I was even just probably 4 or 5 months ago. Even FaceTiming my mom, she's like, you know, you're a totally different person, but you're a totally different person for the good. And they totally recognize that. Even my friends recognize that. And so that's just like shows the glory and the power that the Lord can bring you through just such a small time, even the time of COVID, all those struggles as well. And just some life verses that I've held on to for a long time. And some of them are new even. But the first one is Proverbs 3:5 and 6, and it says, "Trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding, but in the ways submit to Him, and He will make your paths straight." And I think that's just so good that it shows, like, even just with my testimony, I led less on my understanding and more onto Him, and He made my paths straight. He came here, He realigned me. The path I was going before, like I said, was a total 360 from where I am now, and the path I am now is straight and in one with Him. And then the next verse is Isaiah 6:8. Then I heard the voice of the Lord saying, "Whom shall I send, and whom shall go for us?" And I said, "I am here, send me." And I think that's so powerful for me. I've had a calling of being a missionary over my life, and I think that's so true to me. It's like I want to wake up every morning saying, "God, I'm here, send me. Let me reach those people. Let me talk to that person. Let me pray for them. Or what do you want me to do? I'm here. Use me in your kingdom. I want to be blessed. I want to bless others, and I want to be that person for you, and I want to work in your kingdom." And so those verses have just held really close to my heart.